Welcome back guys, we're into FIFA 23 and it's time for a Creator Club. Creator Club is probably my favourite new addition to the FIFA franchise. I mean, it's basically the only new addition to career mode, so I wanted to do something a little bit different with it. Instead of creating my own fictional team, I'll be taking an existing club that's fallen out of the football pyramid and taking them all the way to treble glory. Sort of like a road to glory on steroids, if you like. And I thought, who better to choose than Corinthian Casuals FC. If you're not familiar, Corinthian Casuals are a team from South London. They were formed in 1939 by a merger between Corinthian and Casuals FC, two teams who are very historically important to the modern game. Corinthian, for example, helped to spread football around the globe, and of course you've heard of Corinthian from Brazil, who were founded after the original team toured the South American country. Their strip also influenced Real Madrid's famous all-white strip. Although Corinthian Casuals are famously supportive of amateurism, we will be dragging them into the modern age and pushing them up the pyramid of the professional game. Unfortunately, all of this footage was recorded before Tony Reid was sacked by Corinthian Casuals. So this road to glory / creator club can act more as a what could have been sort of thing, if you will. Or we can all just agree to ignore it. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well. That being said, let's design some kits. Since their formation, Corinthian Casuals have always worn a half and half design of chocolate and pink. It's not really my cup of tea, but we'll have to stick with it lest we upset the ultras. Umbro are the only manufacturer on FIFA 23 with a half and half design, so I guess we'll be going with them, which I think fits with the League 2 vibes. For the away kit, it's an all-white strip with pink accents, and a nice little royal blue outfit for the third kit with lighter blue accents, giving off very strong 2010 tailored by Umbro vibes here. We'll be giving ourselves a very stiff challenge when setting up the club. Squad age is very young, the overall rating is as low as it could be, and we've hardly a pot to piss in. Here he is then, Tony Reid, current-ish manager of Corinthian Casuals, ready for the challenge of taking him up for the Football League. It's a first team very low on quality, as you'd imagine. Davison, Robinson, Noble and Davies probably our standout players from the current selection. We will absolutely need to strengthen in all areas, and we'll be using the free agent list and the academy to do so. That being said, we've got a couple of potential first team players coming through the youth academy already. Ayanda Nkosi, the 17-year-old South African left wing back. Looking at his stats, he's clearly not cut out for a place in the back four, so we're going to make him into a left winger. Same goes for Antti Oliver, similar stats, left wing back, converted to left winger. Have a look at this lad, Arsen Shevchuk, big old striker, 44 overall, very unimpressive stats, but could possibly do a job at centre back, old school vibes, the striker who can also play in the back four. As we know, just £1 million in the budget for this season, which I think we're best off saving for a rainy day, or looking at using it to bring in some better scouts. First signing of the rebuild then, and it's a big upgrade between the sticks. Dmitro Riznik joining as a free agent, decent potential, still quite young, 68 overall, a big upgrade as I said. Another first team signing, McCowart joining as a free agent as well. The Kiwi will slot in on the wing. He's there with Dimitro to greet our third major signing of the season, Moxie coming in to do a job at centre-back next to Noble. The moves to left wing have given us boosts on both Nkosi and Oliver, Nkosi moving up to a 58 overall, Oliver moving up to a 56. And Nkosi will go straight into the side on the left wing, McCowart on the right wing, and Riznik, who's now our highest rated player, between the sticks. First game of the season then, and the first game in the football pyramid for Corinthian Casual. Can they get a win against Stevenage? And it was the best possible start. Nkosi not challenged in the box, and he was able to pull it across the 6-yard box to Davison to slot home for 1-0. Can you believe Nkosi's supposed to be 17? Look at the beard on him. Tony Reid couldn't have asked for a better start here. Half an hour gone and we get a rub of the green. Koulibaly playing it into Davison. Little bit of a stutter, but he gets his shot away and it goes right underneath the goalkeeper. He's had a howler there. Just before half time, and it's a first involvement for Riznik as he turns the ball around the post from near range. Into the second half, the new boys combine. Makawa with a great cross into the area, and Nkosi gets his noggin on it. A good finish from the young lad. Someone check his passport though, he looks about 30. They do grab one back though, a lovely little assist there of the back heel, allowing them to stick it home easily. But we extend our lead yet again. Nkosi getting free in the area, taking his time, couple of touches, puts it in the bottom corner. What a debut it's been for him. We let our attention drop yet again. Stevenage attempts another little flick through from Taylor this time. Moxie gets the ball but loses possession and List sticks it away for 4-2. We just couldn't stop scoring though. Fujita, another academy graduate with some good hold-up play, who recycles it into the middle of the park, where Robertson finds Davison running off the last defender and he sticks it away for his hat-trick. The sky's the limit if we can keep scoring like this. And he finds time to grab a fourth for himself, running straight through the middle of the Stevenage defence and smashing it past the keeper in extra time. We've hopefully unearthed a little bit of competition for Davison up front. Diego Moretti, a pacey forward with lots of potential, we hope. For the next game against Tranmere, we thought we'd try to play the highlights, and we were liking it at the start with Davison being put clean through on goal and slotting past the goalkeeper for 1-0. But then when it gave Tranmere a solo run in this position, didn't like it as much. They easily took the opportunity to make it 1-1. It's a good finish as well. Riznik absolutely no chance. And then just before the end, it gave them a penalty which they took full advantage of to give themselves a win. Probably won't be doing that again. Lovely kit that though, the Tranmere one. Big fan. Back to the youth academy, and we've pulled out a first team player, William Lee. His brother's playing central defensive midfield for us already. They look absolutely identical, so he'll slot in right next to him. Koulibaly, sit yourself on the bench, lad. Next game was against Stockport. William Lee was involved in the build-up. It's Romeo to pull it into the back post. McCowart puts away his first goal of these highlights. Horror challenged this on one of the Lee brothers. Gotta be honest, I've got no idea which one is which at this point, but one of them's got Horsfall sent off. We made it 2-0 shortly thereafter. McCowart getting down the wing and pulling it into the middle of the box for Moretti to score his first goal for the club. And then it went bonkers. Stockport pulling one back here. Defensively, we are an absolute shambles as Stockport gets themselves back on level terms before the break. We fell behind 2-10 men in the second half. A goal from a corner. It's a growing trend. We cannot defend them at all. Tips welcome in the comments, please. We level it up inside the last half an hour though. Moretti playing into Robinson on that box-to-box run, and he slots it past the keeper for 3-3. And then we regained the lead. Nkosi galloping all the way into the area and scuffing one past the keeper. You would have thought that would be it. 4-3, job done, but then we give away a penalty. And they take that opportunity. But then at the death, one of the Lees picks out Nkosi and he scuffs another goal past the keeper. 5-4 it ends. Some more class coming out of the youth academy now. Luigi Esposito, who absolutely screams cult hero and should give us a bit more creativity in the final third. A loan departure now though. Arsen Shevchuk goes on loan to FC Hermannstadt the last 6 months of the season. Finley Best also off to Burton Albion on a 2-year loan. That frees up some space for Christian De Angelis to join Esposito in the first team squad. A few more highlights before we see how we're doing at the halfway point as Davison gets his head against Walsall. And then he turns provider for Oliver with just the calmest finish in at the near post for 2-0. He repeats the trick in the second half, Lee setting him up this time, and he just places it past the keeper for 3-0. I wonder if that's just as hard as he can hit them. Lee sets up Davison for number 4, and this guy's got no trouble hitting him a bit harder, curling it in past the keeper for 4-0. And then we capped off a top display by giving away a classic goal from a corner. Next game up against Donny, and what was I saying about goals from corners? We absolutely love giving them away. A lovely little goal this for the equaliser. Davison with a chipped through ball to Nkosi, who hits it first time on a volley. Donny retake the lead in the second half though, Riznik beating at the near post, which he'll be disappointed with. McCowart gets us a point though, drilling in past the keeper for 2-2. Halfway through the season then, and it's 6th place in the table for Corinthian Casuals. A good start. Northampton will be most likely out of sight for us, but if we can improve in the second half of the season, especially defensively, then we might be able to move up the table just a little bit more. Oh, and what were we saying about defending better? Ball in from Barrow, absolute spoon header, and they put it home for 1-0. Davison drags us back into the game though, as he always does. He's an absolute machine. But then like clockwork, we go and give away another one. Noble has the ball in his area. He's looking for the correct pass out. And I'll tell you what, mate, it wasn't that one. Straight to the Barrow player, and he puts it past Riznik for 2-1. Next up, it's the FA Cup. Bournemouth visiting King George Field, and we nearly got off to the perfect start. DeAngelis, it's a horrendous ball for Nkosi. If he'd set him up properly, it could be 1-0. And then Byrne comes in just a little bit late on the Bournemouth player, and Christie sticks away the penalty for 1-0 to the Championship side. 16 minutes in, and we can't quite take advantage of that flick on from the corner. A little half chance to equalise there. And then on the stroke of half time, I can't help but feel the game's against us. A good challenge, but it falls straight back to them. An interception, and it falls straight back to them. And then they punish us. 2-0. And it looks like Tony Reid's got into them over their half-time cup of tea. Robinson setting up McCowart, and the Kiwi crashes home to pull one back for the home team. Not long after, Esposito sets Oliver away down the left wing. He holds off a couple of challenges, opens up the play and puts it into Davison on a plate, sticks it into an empty net. 2-2. We thought we'd held on for a replay, but what am I doing there? Running around in circles, and Bournemouth play around us. The shot parried by Riznik, and then it's stuck away for the winner. This guy, Patrice Briand, has answered our call, answered our prayers for a defensively minded centre midfielder. Can he help shore up our leaky defence? Into February, and I'm glad we can go back to focusing on the league. We've dropped further down the table to 12th place. It is tight up there though, but we will need to rebound soon. Plenty of exciting games so far this season, really playing the Corinthian way. Esposito has been a big part of that. He sets up Davison against Rochdale. And then we concede from a corner again. Another corner header flicked on at the near post over Riznik's head. We fall behind shortly after, throw in down the line. White pulls it back, and at that near post Riznik is beaten yet again, becoming a bit of a habit for him. We level it up before the break though. Lee into McCowart, and he picks out Davison at the back post in acres of space. They make it 3-2, and it's not even half time yet. Early in the move, they hit the bar. We get a dodgy little header away, but we just can't clear it, and just from outside the area, he hits it through a crowd of players for 3-2. Davison turns provider for Esposito, and the young Italian, who runs a lot like Ronaldinho, gets into the area and sticks it past the keeper. Davison, running off the shoulder of the last man, picked out by Esposito, sticks it away. Oh, and I'm not sure about that celebration. Maybe if we spent more time choreographing and practicing free kicks and corners, we wouldn't concede quite as many. We round this game off though, Lee waiting until just at the last possible moment to square the ball to McCowart. Up against Walsall again next, and Timmy Abraham with some lovely play, getting into the area and pulling it across for Walsall to make it 1-0. Another assist for Esposito for the equaliser. This one's the pick of the bunch. A little reverse pass into Davison. Walker gives away yet another penalty, showing why right back is a position we really need to strengthen. But Riznik digs him out of the hole, saving the penalty. Esposito, I know I said the last assist was good, but that's lovely. A delicate little flick over the defender's head and hits it absolute postage stamp. He's absolutely ecstatic with that finish. And then, oh my god, what am I doing here? Riznik from hero to zero, passing it straight out to the striker, who levels it for 2-2. We are trying to play out from the back. These things will happen. No matter though, as Esposito gets his third assist of the game, this time setting up Diego Moretti, who steals it at the death for the Corinthian. 20 goals in 31 appearances so far for Davidson. He'll be looking to claim the Golden Boot in the last 15 games of the season. And you can see there Esposito has 5 assists in 5 games. Briand and Esposito have now solidified their place in the starting lineup. We're certainly beginning to gather a core group of promising young players. Back to the highlights then, as Gillian punished another defensive error from us. We were back on level terms before the break though. Esposito and Davidson linking up well to set it up for Lee, who finishes it with aplomb. And if that one was neat, the winner was even better. Lee and Davidson with a neat 1-2, and the youngster finishes it for his brace. On to the next one against Crewe Alexander. We were 2-0 up when they scored their jammiest of jammy goals. But we take our 2-goal cushion back in the second half. Lee getting into the area, waiting for the run of Davison, and he picks him out at the back post. A lovely finish from the striker. He was showing a little bit of variety in this game. Davison with a finesse finish from outside the area, which I think the goalkeeper probably could have done better with. Take nothing away from the strike though. We've decided to let De Angelis go on loan, a chance for him to further his development at Dortmund's second side. And we finally find ourselves a decent right back. Guilon, the 17-year-old, will go straight into the team ahead of Walker. Looks like a real prospect. That means then, with 6 games left of the season, we've clawed it back and we find ourselves in an automatic promotion spot. I told you the gap between us and Bradford wasn't that big, and that's who we play next. They take the lead in the 6-pointer though, a lovely deft finish from outside the area. We did level it within the first half though, Esposito taking his time around the edge of the area before picking out Makawa on the overload to finish. We threw that equaliser away though just before half time. Noble giving the Bradford City striker far too much time in the area. He manages to swivel the veteran centre back and finish past Rizniak. There was a defining moment just after half time though. Esposito set free, but he screws his shot wide of the post. That goal could have changed the game for us, but instead it goes the other way. Bradford City extending their lead with a power shot from within the area. This was our worst defeat of the season when we needed it most, unable to stop them adding a fourth in added on time. It hasn't hurt us though. Bradford ended up losing their following game, which means we're still 2 points clear of them with 4 games left of the season. Hopefully that loss will give us a kick up the arse, but it didn't look likely when we conceded early against Carlisle. But Davison got us on our way, latching onto Esposito's through ball and firing it into the top right corner for the equaliser. We were a different team after that as Nkosi put us ahead. Esposito gets his second assist of the game, finding Davison's run, and the forward nods a controlled header past the keeper. Into the second half and we were hungry for more. Esposito finds the run of Nkosi, who gets himself a brace. The young South African gets himself a hat-trick soon after. There is so much room in behind Carlisle here. We were absolutely running riot at this point. McCowat's curled finish the pick of the bunch. Esposito made it 6, rounding off the performance, a well-deserved goal after all his assists. We were so confident going into this one that we decided to play the highlights against Newport County. Lee plays it into Briand, who gets it forward to Nkosi. He finds a run of Esposito and the creator finishes off the move. And that win was all we needed to secure automatic promotion to League One at the first attempt. At times this season we've played some absolutely beautiful football, performing well above expectations of this young side. That meant we could sim our last game of the season. We lost 2-1 to Donny. Final league standings then, and we ended up finishing second in the table. Northampton were by far the best team in the division, Bradford and Crewe Alexandra falling away towards the end, allowing us to sneak in for second spot. Davison was the main beneficiary of our potent attack, running away with the golden boot. And Luigi Esposito ends up leading the league in assists despite only playing 19 games this season. That's it for this first season then, into League 1. Super excited about this journey with Corinthian Casuals. Can promise you lots of excitement in Season 2, but until then, over and out.